Good morning. Welcome to the trade setup right here on BQ Prime. And to all of our viewers, a very happy Dhanteras. May this Samvat usher in multiple moments of earning dhan.
Happy festive season, happy Diwali and happy Dhanteras. I'm Tamanna Inamdar, of course, with Neeraj Shah. And the news overnight is all about one Mr. Jerome Powell, who spoke at an event in Washington, and his comments again has the bond markets, US equities all in a flutter. So just let's, at the top of trade setup today, take you through the news flow coming in globally. So bonds, US equities have responded to Powell's comments. What exactly did Powell say? I'm going to just read that out for you. And I'm quoting here. He says the FOMC is committed to achieving a stance of monetary policy that is sufficiently restrictive to bring inflation down to 2% over time. We are not confident that we've achieved such a stance. There were other Fed officials who also spoke at different venues through the day. And the large message that was coming in was that you're not out of the deep waters as far as interest rate hikes is concerned. Other data that also came in, you had weekly jobless claims fall to 217,000, 217,000 last week versus estimates of 218,000. So that's also a key sort of statistic that is watched to see the health of the US economy. News which will also play out over the next few days is the White House making an announcement yesterday saying that Israel will pause military operations in the northern part of Gaza for 4 hours a day. Benjamin Netanyahu came and sort of played that down later. But nevertheless, it's a start which increases the hope that there's no huge war premium on this conflict right now in the Middle East. So Brent, though, back above the $80 mark with slight gains, but following that sell-off last week. What happened to bonds in the middle of all of the Powell storm? The US 10-year was at 4.632%, slightly inching up post Powell's comments. And you saw that play down in the markets that sort of snapped that 8-9 day winning streak. The Dow Jones was down about a little more than 0.5%. Futures are also down. S&P 500, NASDAQ, all in the red. Asian markets, I must just quickly mention Asian markets also feeling the pain this morning in trade as we speak. Neeraj, that's the sort of global picture. What's happening domestically? The Diwali mood will show up today or not?
Very unlikely. Let's face it, we'll see it on Sunday for sure. The markets invariably do well on the Murat trading session. But here's the deal, the GIFT Nifty, independent of what the GIFT Nifty is saying, I think the start will be in the red, so that shouldn't surprise anybody. But it's not a big red really that we're looking at as well. We've seen Fed commentary being chalk and cheese multiple times. It is in what Jerome Powell eventually says when they do the policy meet. So I think that yes, the markets will react and have reacted rather. You don't need me or us to tell you that. But yes, let's see if it's measured. So indices yesterday were lackluster for a second day on a trot. I reckon today would be the third day on a trot. And the broader markets yesterday flatlined, which is the thing, because until day before yesterday, the broader markets are doing okay. This is the broader markets flatlined as well. The thing is, from a technical perspective or a levels perspective, watch out for 19,400, because if you look at the call option data, that is where the largest position got built yesterday. Will that stay a key support? Difficult to say. If indeed it got broken down convincingly, there could be unwinding there too, which could put pressure. But for now, 19,400 based on the options data, a key level to watch out for. And yep, it is the same set of stocks. Nothing new to say really. Real estate and healthcare. I'm broadening pharma to healthcare at large, because if you look at the price volume gainers yesterday as well, Metropolis, another 6%, almost 2 times the volumes. Apollo Hospitals, but 3.5%, 4% post numbers and commentary, almost 2 times the volumes. And then you had M&M and City Union Bank as well. So essentially, healthcare, real estate remain pockets that people will look to buy on dips, if not at a single point of time. So that's to be kept in mind. Key day for results yet again, Tamanna, and of course, as we draw closer to November 15, the number of stocks were coming out of results only increases.
Absolutely. It's going to be a cracker of a Friday before Diwali. And I'm just picking the top ones, which everyone's interested in. LIC, very, very crucial to see the details of what those numbers show, how the PSU behemoth is doing. A lot of government-owned or largely government-owned companies will show results today. ONGC, Coal India, Steel Authority. Mahindra and Mahindra stock to definitely watch. It's been rallying, and the auto space has generally relatively done well. Hindustan Aeronautics, Biocon had a bit of news as well coming in over the last couple of days. Sun TV Network, Ipca Labs taking forward that whole healthcare space play, Glenmark Pharma, Tata Chemsham Metallics, and Garden Reach Shipbuilders, another space which has seen quite a bit of excitement. Niraj?
Yep, okay, let's quickly move to stocks to watch because there's a long laundry list today as well. Non-results, let's do a bit of a deviation. 3 stocks which came out of just the news flow around them, which is interesting and may impact them. So Tata Motors upgraded to Ba3 by Moody's. Even JLR's individual facilities were also upgraded by Moody's, so watch out for that one. HAL, a company inked the contract with Airbus for establishing a civil MRO facility for A320 aircrafts at Nashik. Could this see a bit of a spurt? Let's wait and watch. And Blue Jet Healthcare, well, yet another company in which the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board has come down heavily, so watch out for these. Then the results, a clutch of them, very important ones. Campus, the stock has not done all that well post-listing, and with reason, because if you look at these numbers as well, revenue is down 22%. The estimates were 353, they've come in at 259. Margins got eroded 9.5%. The estimates were 17.1%, as a result of which a sharp drop in the profit after tax, much lower than estimate, much lower than the corresponding quarter. Suffice to say, Campus Activewear will be active on the downside in the session today. On the flip side, Subros, after many quarters of kind of an indifferent performance, Subros has finally put its hands up. Now, is it because of the Maruti sales? Maybe, but here's what the stock has done, or the business has done in quarter 2. Revenue is up 17% at 813, the estimates were 768. Margins at 8.63% versus 5.68%, serious uptick there on that base. And the PAT up 2.7x at 26 crores versus 9.7 crores. The estimates were 20 crores. This is the highest ever quarterly sales and EBITDA for Subros. And just think of it, consider the potential supply to trucks starting in 2025, because it's mandatory as made by Nitin Gadkari, the transport minister. Think of the growth potential in new businesses like Fronx, Chimney, and the others that Maruti is seeing, and Grand Vitara that Maruti is seeing some gains in. And you potentially, and diversification into railways, you're potentially looking at good growth drivers. We'll try and get the management today at some point of time. But this is a very interesting stock to watch today. Force Motors is the other one. Autos are really on a fast lane. Revenues up 42%, margins at 12.48 versus 8%, so nearly 450 basis points expansion, resulting in a 5x jump in profit after tax. Very strong show. Yesterday, we saw Lupin do really well fundamentally, though the stock didn't do well. Brokerage notes today are constructive, though. Today, we're seeing Aurobindo Pharma. Tamanna was highlighting this yesterday in the results to watch thing. Look at Aurobindo's numbers. 25% uptick in PAT at 7,219 crores. The expectations were 6,700. Margins 19.43 versus 17.6% estimated, and 14.58% in the corresponding quarter. PAT up 83%, 752 versus estimated 623. Suffice to say, Aurobindo Pharma will do well. Unfortunately, we don't have the brokerage views as yet because the con call comments are yet to come in, but Aurobindo could be the other one. Hope it doesn't do a Lupin and the stock doesn't do well, but watch out for Aurobindo, watch out for AstraZeneca. Again, the healthcare theme, 31% uptick in PAT, revenues, 60% uptick in PAT for AstraZeneca. So that's the other one to monitor today. And a couple of other good numbers in detail. BEML, the numbers because of the margin uptick look very strong, 6.7% margins versus 5.19. PAT up 3.2x, so watch out for that one. And Z Entertainment, lots of things around Z, but the numbers, on the face of it, relative to estimates, looked okay. There were some comments around SEBI's or Puneet Goenka's appointment or the lack of it. I won't get into details really thereof, but the numbers look okay. Let's see if Z gets a whiff of an uptick there. Just a quick update on some numbers which look strong per se. Not getting into details there, but Finiotex Chemicals at a point of time when chemical companies have largely been lackluster. Good Q2. Parag Milk, very strong margin performance, as a result of which the PAT uptick of 2.2 times. And Magad Sugar. Well, I thought sugar companies are not delivering well, but after Balrampur, Magad is the other one which has done well. EBITDA up 16x, 16 times EBITDA, and the PAT at 15 crores versus a loss in the corresponding quarter. So those are the few numbers which did well. I'll skip Orient. The numbers were largely in line. GMM Fodder largely in line. A lack of time here. I just do want to mark 2 companies which didn't do well. HCC, for all the fanfare that HCC has got around itself, The numbers left a lot to be desired. Very, very poor performance. Let's see if the stock corrects. And Graphite India, the reason why this is important, just take a minute here. The reported numbers, you might see the profit after tax number and see that it's 8.7 times, and therefore it seems to be a good number. Revenue, EBITDA are below estimates, and the profits have an exceptional gain of 954 crores due to a sale of land in Bengaluru. Leave that out, and the numbers would have looked abysmal. There would have been a net loss there after the EBITDA loss, so be mindful of that. Not a good set of numbers following HEG's weak performance yesterday. Tamanna, anything that the brokerages are saying worth noticing?
Brokerages are saying a lot, and we have some interesting notes. I just wanted to add a new listing watch, which is the ESAF Small Finance Bank, issue price of 60. The IPO was subscribed 73 times. Institutional investors 173 times, non-institutional investors 84 times, retail investors 17 times. IPOs have been a mixed bag this year, so let's see what happens with them. Brokerage notes very quickly. Jefferies has an interesting one on ABB. They've retained their buy with a target price of 5260. They've said margins have surprised on higher capacity utilization and lower project contribution. You've had Nomura on Lupin, which has retained a buy with a target price of 1290. They estimate India formulation growth markets and US Europe API will contribute significantly. 55% for US markets, 22% for Europe markets on the upside, and 30% from API contributions. The management is expecting a mid-teen growth outside India and US. And Jefferies on PI Industries, they have raised the FY24 earning estimates by 4% on strong margins. Destocking is better than peers as strong growth visibility in key products insulated from destocking cycle. So we'll wrap it here, but just before we close, since you talked about the impact of the Maharashtra Pollution Control Boards on stocks, and we've seen that playing out. A message that I got this morning from the BMC commissioner. Look at the AQI in Mumbai. Just to all of you, it's all in the green. So the AQI has come down pre-Diwali. I don't know if you can. Yeah, I don't know if you can put it down to the Pollution Control Board's efforts, but that's good. Let's hope it stays like that through the festive season.
That is indeed a happy Diwali then.
That is indeed a happy Diwali. On that note, thank you so much for joining us on the Trade Setup.
Wishing everyone a very happy Diwali. This is a year when India has done very well and is poised to do well for a long period of time. So hopefully this will be a truly prosperous Diwali for everyone.